Hello, my friends. Welcome back to another tournament report. No, not a battle report, tournament report. And this is from the country's biggest tournament that isn't Clash of Kings. It is a 2-day GT known as the Northern Kings GT up there in West Yorkshire, here in the wonderful UK. It's about 40 players, which is pretty big for the UK. And it is the highlight of my tournament year, because I can't do Clash of Kings anymore. I'm running it. So, yeah, I was pretty stoked for this, pretty excited, a little bit drunk the whole time. So, here's what I took. So, goblins is what I took to this. This picture kind of looks more like Ratkin. It's the ones on the right-hand side. Goblins is what I took. Although, of course, if you've been following me on any kind of social media, possibly here as well, I think I might have mentioned it, it was, in fact, a Gungan army, because I don't know when to stop a joke, basically. Anyway, so this is a 2-day GT in which I took my Gungans. There'll be plenty of photographs later on. I think we'll do the armies and parade at the end of day 2's report, so hold on for that. I would say that if you are bored with these, I would say day 2 is particularly thrilling of this GT, so do watch out for that. Though day 1 is also excellent. And a bunch of these units on this picture you may recognise in my army, although I made them somewhat more colourful. This is my list. So, I have 2 hordes of rebel. By the way, before I submitted this list because 2 weeks before the tournament, and after I submitted it, I listened to Paige Neo's Goblin Army review, and then I listened to the Countercharge Roundtable where they talk about goblins, where everyone just kind of gently pointed out all the mistakes I might have made with this list. So we'll talk about those, I guess, as we go through. So 2 hordes of rebel. And then I took a Regiment Luggett Gang with Elite, the Blessing of Gods, and the Luggett Gang Horde. And the only thing to remember when you're watching the battle report is that Rabble have blue shields and the Luggetts have green shields. Alright? I have 2 big rock throwers, 2 war trombones, a wingit with the the ranged bombs away enhancement, 2 slashers with trombones on the top, a king with a bow and the pendant giving him an aura of headstrong, 2 bangets, a whiz with lots of spells, the most expensive goblin whiz ever. He had Inspiring Talisman as well as Bane Chant and Hex, all of which I use, so I feel thoroughly justified in these choices. And then the Bang Sticks formation because it's hilarious. So just for information, the Goblin review said, take 4 hordes of rabble, okay. Don't take Luggetts, they're terrible, okay. Don't take War Engines, they're too random. Okay. Take 3 War Trombones and 3 Wingits. Wow. I'm nearly there. Slashers they liked. That was good. And 2 was the right number, apparently. They said Bangets are good. Yeah. So, and they said don't take the Cavalry because they're rubbish. So, thanks for that advice, guys. Let's see how we crack on. So, my first game was against Alistair and his Ogres. I've never played him before. Excited to play him. A giant of a man. He's about 7 billion foot tall, and he's very pleasant. And this was his ogre list, which is terrifying. So he's got a horde of boomers with the staying stone, 3 regiments of warriors, 3 hordes of siegebreakers, one of whom has the boots of striding, triple sergeants with crossbows and chariots, making them height 4, 2 bullies and 2 warlocks, with both of whom he's given the extra drain life to. So, pretty fearsome list. 14 units isn't bad for ogres. A lot of meat. And to make it worse, we are playing. Oh, let's do our turn now. Oh, hold that thought. Hold that thought. Let's look at the battlefield. So, I'm spoiling now. Anyway, this is the battlefield. We have 2 hills, height 3 here. These stone kind of puddle things here and here are height 2 obstacles. Which is rubbish if you've got war engines. I'm just saying. And then we've got height 6 forests over here. Height 6 blocking terrain here. A wall and a wall at height 2. Alright, so nice and balanced. Pretty similar both sides. Actually, it's identical. Nearly identical both sides. And we're playing control, which is why it's terrible for me, because he has a lot of scoring scoring heroes. And one of the faults in my list, which you will spot as we play through, is it does not have a lot of unit strength. So, this is how we deployed. So I will use this opportunity when we look at the armies to tell you what my units are, because otherwise you'll be like, what the bloody hell is that? Obviously, it's all Star Wars stuff. It's completely immersion breaking. It kind of looks fantasy. People were very nice about it. So on Alistair's side, he has gone with a unit of warriors here, a regiment of warriors. These guys are their chariot-mounted dudes. These are boomers, very obviously, with the big old cannons there. That is a bully. Yep, that is a warlock, and that is a warlock. Right? Siege breakers with the striding boots, normal siege breakers, and over here, here's a chariot dude, here's a chariot dude, regiment, and siege breakers. I think, is there a bully hiding behind here? There is. There's a bully hiding there behind that chariot. So he's kind of fanned out for control in a nice way. He's put these guys here to just kind of come down here because I've got war engines down there. We'll talk about that in a minute. And everything else is very much, he's going to come forward and then he's going to shoot and beat me to a bloodied pulp. This triple siege breaker center is pretty intimidating when you've got Crush 1. So on my side, these are my rock lobbers. Right, these are actually the catapults off of the films, but I had to make them out of green stuff because they don't exist. They come out okay, haven't they? And then over here, right, so blue shields, rabble, horde of rabble, horde of rabble. Okay, big giant things, obviously slashers. They're stuck on height bases, so I can move things. This Gungan submarine is my winglet. I'm quite pleased with that. It's a bath toy, incidentally. These guys here are war trombones, again from the movies, made out of green stuff because they don't exist. And that is the Goblin King, who is Boss Nass. Alright? You can't quite see them here, but there's two boomer throwers. Throw big balls, blue balls. Those are my bangets. And then this is the elite unit of Luggets. Green shields. And then over there we have the formation, which is the horse guys. On Gungan type horses, there's the Horse King. And that is the horde of Luggets behind them. So what's my plan? So my plan is to try and make as much mileage out of the war engines as I can into these units while I can. Obviously I have to deal with these guys first. We're going to have to push forward super fast because he's got an unnecessary amount of shooting. So he's got the boosted lightning bolts here from these warlocks. He's got his chariot, all shooting, and the boomers as well. So I'm going to have to sacrifice this unit of rebel by just pushing it forward as quickly as possible, right? And then and try and swing around here. I'm going to try and punch through with these exploding units to destroy as much of this as possible. Follow up with the Luggets, got my other Luggets here, and then shoot everything that's left to death. That's the plan. And I win turn 1, which is super. So off we crack, and it is a generalized push forwards. So this rabble forwards onto the hill. We are going to lose them early, but hopefully we can survive a turn or two. I can see over the hill with my, what's it called? Titans, slashers. He's here for Eye in the Sky onto something. Probably something over here, maybe? I don't know. I think I couldn't get quick enough, far enough across for Eye in the Sky in the first turn on that guy. And everything else is just kind of hanging out. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Darth Jar Jar is my whiz. There he is, lightsaber wielding Jar Jar. I dropped him before game 6. And so I switched to a green one because I had an extra one. And we push forward here, so we are... This is his maximum charge from this chariot. This chariot can charge in here. But I figured, you know, do what you want because I am nimble. I can come around you. So while he's got a lot of meat here, I also have a lot of hitting power here. So, and the war engine did 3 points damage into the warriors, which is a start. And that's the bow from this chap, I believe. Also, oh no, it's not because he couldn't reach. He couldn't even. It was less than 18, so it's actually a lightning bolt from Jar Jar. Did a wound, and off we crack. So he's just pushed forwards. Generally, so he's charging with that chariot. He's brought everything up because he's ogres and he doesn't have to care. He's just going to come forward and shoot me, and then the shooting begins. And 10 wounds is what we took on those rabble, which is a lot. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot. It was a good turn for him. And then we took 2 wounds from that chariot charge, which is not a lot. So there you go. And into turn 2. So here we are. So now I've decided, well, these guys are dead. There's no point in charging them in because they're just going to get squished, and all my lovely squishy stuff here will be vulnerable. So instead, I formed a little curve here. So I've got Wing It, 2 Bang It's, and a War Trombone. And we're going to try and take out this chariot, which is the only thing within charge range. So that's outside of 12. So we're nice and kind of curved there to protect ourselves. This base is where the slasher is, because I couldn't be able to find stairs to sit him on, and we are going to start shooting at stuff as well. I think my plan was to shoot these siege breakers with everything, but then I changed that plan halfway. I'm not quite sure why. And we countercharge here, keeping my War Trombone and Slash with the War Trombone on top to shoot at siege breakers. So that was the plan. And that's just, I don't know what it is. That's me, that's just showing some shooting, I guess. That's me shooting my war engines, possibly. Yeah, so, and then on this side, we took the charge that we had to. So he'd moved warriors and chariot here. And he's got his bully, warriors, and siege breakers here. So I'm going to try and kill this unit of warriors in one. And then there's no withdraw in this tournament, I think. So that allows me to, if I kill them with my horses, I can then turn to face this bully. While these guys soften up the siege breakers. In the meantime, again, I've got a double charge here. I think, have I double charged? I think I double charged the chariot. Because then if the warriors, I kill him, then the warriors come back. I can then bring in my luggets, right? So then I've kind of nicely tied up this side. That's the plan anyway. He's come in as well, so he's got his nice elite aura to both of them here. That is me shooting off the chariot over here. So the chariot over on this side, this chariot just took, you know, that's pretty deadly. Managed to roll well and got rid of him, which is pretty encouraging. So off he goes. 3 wounds from, I believe, the War Trombone on top of the slasher onto this bully. And 3 wounds to these siege breakers from the other slasher. A single wound there on the counter charge, or at least he hasn't got any thunderous. Still got crush 2, or something. Doesn't really matter. I'm only defense 4. However, a hysterically poor turn over here. Really, really bad. So I got a Bane Chant from Jar Jar onto these guys to make them crush 2. So 20 attacks on 4s and 4s is, yeah, that's pretty average, isn't it there? So that's pretty much what you'd expect. 5 wounds there, it's pretty good. However, I did whiff these dice horrifically here. I took 1 point of damage from my exploding dice. So if you don't know, this formation, the Bang 6 formation, if you roll a 6, it counts for 2 hits, but you take a point of damage because you explode. So these guys whiffed pretty heavily. Only 3 wounds onto these warriors, despite being thunderous 2. I think maybe because I clipped the forest, that's why. Yes, that's why I whiffed. So I was hit on 5s, pretty poor. So 3 wounds there, so that's not great. We did, however, manage to kill this chariot, and then I sidestepped my hero over here, so the bully couldn't see him. All right, and he's also inspiring now, so that's great. These warriors are going to come in here. As planned. This was not so great, but there you go. That's just tough. So, that's the lay of the land. There's a wave. I think that's right. Didn't he lightning bolted this chap turn 1 and wavered him? I think. Did he? I have a vague memory. I really should have paid attention to this. No, he didn't. But if he did, that would have been cool, because that would explain why there's a wave token in the middle of the board. Moving straight on then. Here we are. So he just like, screw you, I'll take the charges. So this is the guys with the striding boots who, whenever I have striding boots, they're never in the right place. But he does not have that problem. So these warriors are creeping forward. The boomers have come around here to start shooting stuff. Siege breakers with striding boots are coming to the rebel to get rid of them. And the other siege breakers have joined in with the chariot on these rebels. So the rebel are about to go poof. And over here there's counter charges, a flank and a charge here, which is poor. And a charge here. So, pretty much as you'd expect. That's some drain life here from this lovely warlock. Warlock? Onto my Luggets, who took 2 wounds and he healed 2 off. Oh, where's he healed them from? Has he done 1 each? Is that cheating? I don't know. Maybe I already had 1 wound. No, I didn't. Strange. Okay. And that is 12 wounds onto... Hang on, that's not right. Is that right? Oh, that's another drain life. That's what it is. Another drain life here. Yep, so any wounds that were lying around have gone there as well. And that is the boomers. The boomers didn't have a great turn, so 5 wounds onto my wingit. And then, so that was a mistake that I made. So this was my slasher, and as you can see, it's slightly peeping out here, which allowed his bully to come in here, which means I'm no more shooting from the slasher, but it does mean I am going to flank him in return, which is fun. And then, of course, potentially anyway, the siege breakers have utterly obliterated the rabble, so now everything is nice and squishy and exposed. So I need to do some very hefty, quick killing over here next turn. And how about that? Siege breakers and a chariot. So they initially had 2 wounds. They now took another 12 from all of that, which is, I want to say, not great. It's probably slightly under, isn't it? Anyway, they wavered. I've got headstrong aura. Rah. However, this unit of warriors knocked it out of the park on their own, 9 attacks, and killed my unit of horses. That's what it is. However, this was unprecedented, so these warriors did not kill my bang sticks, along with a bully in the flank. Only 10 wounds and a waver, so a particularly poor turn there, which has given me a reprieve somewhat. I mean, it wavered, so there's not a lot I can do. Plus, the siege breakers did kill my luggage, so I'm actually looking rather naked on this flank now. Wasn't quite as impactful as I'd hoped initially, and I've got a horde and this regiment, which is now wavered left. It's better than I should have had, frankly. So yeah, on to turn 3. This is the lay of the land now. So you can see here, this side is going to look terrible because he's overrun with these warriors. So the horde has no choice but to charge them. And in charging them, yeah, so I need to kill them, basically. I've still got this king left here. He can do some stuff. I've still got Jar Jar over here. He's useless. However, he's got 3 pretty scary units here. Most of them haven't got a lot of wounds, and they're supported by a warlock. In the centre, these guys are holding up well, so that's fine. And then on this side, I've still got a lot of shooting left. But it's apparent how quickly my unit strength evaporates in this list, considering this is a unit strength scenario. So I've got a wingit, a slasher here, and a horde, and this regiment. Those are probably both going to die, which leaves me with... Oh, I've also got that other horde there that's going to die as well. So I've got 2 slashers and a wingit. That's what I've got left. And that's the case for most of the tournament. So off we crack. So we all do some cowardly things. So first off, I do a nice move, which I'm pleased with. So the slasher, which is obviously here, turns and comes into the siege breakers rather than bothering with the bully. Because you can, of course, pivot through units as long as you end clear of them, which he clearly can. So he does. He, she, it is a lizard. Comes into siege breakers there. And then we back up, so we can see a nice little 12-inch ruler there keeping me away from the warriors. So we've got another round of shooting. I'm going to shoot on these boomers, everything I've got, which is quite a lot, including the king and the war engines. So we'll see what we can take out. Hopefully I want to kill both of those these turns to give me a chance. And I back up the wavered horde and the slasher. And you can see here this... I keep the slasher outside, so this bully now cannot see anything. He literally cannot see a thing. And I've got a nice line of sight here and line of sight here to try and do some damage, see how we do. I then slip the king, Gorp, through this gap onto this drain-lifing warlock who's causing me problems to try and just kind of lock him down a little bit. Yep, so and then take those charges there, so these guys kind of sit here ready to die. And off we go. That's my shooting. That's 9 wounds from my shooting onto those boomers. 8. Oh wow, that was good, isn't it? They were on 1 wound, and then we had 20 shots. And Jar Jar as well. It's only 3 lightning bolt, whatever. So 20 shots on 4s and 5s. Wow, so 8 wounds from everything there. That's very good, very good. 2 wounds there from Gorp, which wavers the warlock, which is rather good, isn't it? Unfortunately, nothing doing that. I do kill the warriors down here as well, which is good. However, I'm now going to have all of these guys to face off against, which is not going to work for me. So I do not kill these boomers. I don't wipe them out, excuse my coughing. I do 9 wounds, but you know they're going to shoot me. And these warriors creep forward still. So I think those 9 wounds also included the war engine, which didn't hit as far as I can recall. I think I did 4 wounds here from the statue, which is not great. And it's going to take a counter charge. So it does, and these guys, so yep, flank, and then the bully just runs forward to block up here. So this is some very, very nice positioning, because to charge him, you see where my centre is here? The centre will come here, which means my unit will hit this terrain. Hitting on 5s is terrible. So both of these come into the rabble to finish them off with nothing else really they could do. And that's just showing you some shooting, which has utterly obliterated the wing it, which is gone. So the boomers finally scored a hit. Even worse, the siege breakers. I was on 4 wounds here from the bully. Rolled out the park, you know, as siege breakers do, on the counter charge onto my slasher and murdered it. So that's not great. That's actually terrible. I've got siege breakers kind of live in my midst. And those rebel finally die as well, which is not unsurprising. And those horses die as well. So that's all flea bags. That's not unsurprising too. So, looking a bit shoddy. It is turn 4. How's it looking? Not brilliant. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's looking pretty bad. So the unit strength I have left on the board is this slasher and this horde. Right? This horde cannot avoid being charged by a bully, siege breakers, and warriors. I can't do it. Not in 2 turns, because if I back up, I don't think I can get out. It's just poor. If I charge the bully, I'm going to end up in terrain. I'm not going to kill him. So we are where we are. Here, these units. I mean, this one will probably die. It's on 9 wounds already. Got some shooting left. This guy is on 1 wound. Got a lot of nerve left. I've got siege breakers, only 3 wounds. Those guys probably die. Those guys probably die. But I don't know what to do about him. So, yeah. I just didn't have quite enough to take the volume of meat, especially given how poorly he's been rolling. So, yeah. Here we go. So, we take a chance. So, we send the king off the hill into the boomers. He just needs to do a wound, occupy them for a turn. We come through here, so we're going to try and... so I put everything so that... So this is definitely the... Water and Bone is definitely going to shoot the warriors. These guys can shoot either way, depending on what we need to do. And I've got my war engines as well. I take the slasher. The executive decision is to bring these guys here to shoot the bully. And then this guy will take on directly, because he's better at hitting than he is at shooting. And then I will turn that way to mean that I will get charged, but nothing to do about that. I don't think a bully and a chariot on their own can kill him, because it's not a warlord on chariot. Don't forget, it's a sergeant on chariot, so it has got less attacks, only 5. So we do manage to kill these warriors. Hurrah! Well done. And what's more, then we put some more wounds here and some more wounds here, but not enough to kill either of them, which is pretty disastrous. I was hopeful. A little bit too hopeful. However, look at that king. What a legend. Single-handedly kills a bunch of boomers. Legend. And I take the charge there. 4 wounds. Alas, not enough. I do kill that horde with my slasher and I turn yay. So hopefully, as you can see, keeping fronts here, here. So I've got triple front, but you can charge me with everything. And I think we did another wound here as well. He's up to 6 wounds, not dead yet. So that's what we look like. Yeah, warriors and boomers are dead. And so I just have to eat that triple charge. Pain. But you can see my nice basing, so yeah. Well, so why is he gone? Is he dead? I think I killed him. Is this turn 5? Have I missed the turn dice? I might have missed the turn dice. What's happened there? I don't know. So the triple charge there. He's disappeared from last turn, I think. So he takes right. There's an interesting choice here. And I think he did it to get the unit strength. So he put his siege breakers, he knows they're getting shot a lot, down into my half, right? And then double charge into my slasher here. Okay. And obviously that dies, which is embarrassing. So this must be turn 5 now. I can't see the turn dice yet. I think it's on a rock over here somewhere. Sorry. We might see in a minute. So I turn around here. So then I've got all my firepower on a hill, which is a great place to be. Not a lot of firepower left, but it's there. I've got a slasher here. So I've taken this king into the flank of the chariot. This is the chariot here. Obviously, he's not on his little base because he's enormous. And then we are shooting. So all these are going to shoot the siege breakers. These are going to shoot the bully. However, he's got unit strength down there. He's got unit strength here. He's got unit strength there. It just can't quite kill enough. So we do waver the siege breakers, which is superb. I used Jar Jar's hex to hex this warlock, so no more drains. And we double won the chariot. Do we kill the bully? No. I think his bully... Oh, I do kill the bully. Shazam! So these guys then kill the bully, which is great. And then we double won the chariot, which is pretty poor. But, you know, at this point, it's somewhat immaterial. And there's the very intimidating sight of siege breakers and another bully just coming up behind to go, hey, how you doing there? You alright? And I'm like, yeah, thanks for asking. So he turns these guys around just to face in case there's a charge. And I think into turn 6 for me. Oh, yeah, that's right. So he takes his hexed warlock off this way just to get him out of dodge, and he only goes to come down and across into that section there. So then he gets an extra point, going for max points. Damn you all. So the chariot chariot sergeant does quite a few wounds there. It goes 5 to 8 on the slasher. It's not quite a few, it's 3. But it's not enough to kill him. And then into turn 6, so what can I do? Not a lot, frankly. So this is at the end of turn 6, I believe. Yes, it is. So this is what's happened. So I sacrifice this war engine. I turn it round and shoot at these guys, try and kill them. Followed up by Jar Jar, who I believe hexes again. Or I don't know what he does. But I take my slasher off. Rather than attack the chariot that was here, I take the slasher and I run that way, because that gets me 2 points for this section, which you can see the counters there. So this section is like this. Right? So there's my sections. This is the end of turn 6 now. So I do my best. I do get 2 points because my slasher survives and comes into this section here. We only put 5 wounds here, unfortunately. We do kill the chariot with all of these guys, which is super, but it is too little too late, because he gets 1 for this section, 1 for this section, 1 for this section, and he gets 2 for this section, giving him a maximum points for scenario, whereas I get 2 for this section. Oh well, it's still a pretty good loss. I think it was an 11 in the Northern King system, because you do get points for killing, and as you can see, I have killed a lot. He has also killed a lot. I think he ended up with a 23 or 24, which is nearly maximum overall. But was it 11 or was it 14? It was something like that. I'll look up the sheet in a bit. But pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with it, given that it's a loss, and I was something of a disadvantage to start with. But it is what it is. So good game, great guy. Really enjoyed it. And now we're into game 2. All right, so I've checked. I've actually got a 10. And I've just got a 24. So on to game 2 versus Heath with his Order of the Green Lady. I have played Heath's Order of the Green Lady before, and I beat him. So let's see if I can repeat that feat. I believe at the time I might have been playing Twilight King. Can't remember. So he has bought a full flying circus with some people not flying also. So he has got... now I am going to make my constable plate. I can't remember what anything is in the Order of the Green Lady list. I don't like the fact that all of the units are called the same thing. They could be anything. It's really confusing. I hate it. Anyway, I've said it once. I'll say it again. He's bought a regiment of the Order of the Brotherhood, who are the normal cavalry. So 16 attacks. He's given them Banner of the Green Ladies. He's given them Pathfinder and a Brew of Strength to make them extra hitty. Then he's got 2 Order of the Redemption units, which are the kind of elite cavalry with 20 attacks, and literally nothing else that distinguishes them. He's given one of them elite, which is Blessing of Gods, and the other one is naked. 2 Orders of the Forsaken, who are the flying cavalry. One's got striding, one's got Brew of Haste for that cheeky 22-inch charge. He's got 2 regiments of woodland critters, flying kind of chaff. 2 beasts of natures with wings and 7 attacks. a Pegasus, an Exemplar Redeemer on a winged unicorn with blade slashing, and a unicorn with lightning bolt and host shadow beast, which is pretty good. So that gives that unicorn 9 attacks. It's pretty beastly. Beastly. It's a pun. Moving on. This was our board, so the same heights apply as previously. So you got your height 2 kind of things, wherever they are. Difficult terrain. We've got some height 6 rocks. I really like this board. I like the purple. I think it works really well. 2 height 3 hills, 2 height 3 forests, and 2 walls here and here. So I think Heath chose size. Oh, we're playing Fool's Gold. Fool's Gold is where you have bluff tokens, and then you put your bluff tokens down and you reveal them all at the end of turn 3. So, just for information, these are the tokens that you place on the opposite side of the board. So, Heath got turn 1. No, he didn't get turn 1. He chose sides. He chose this side, so this is my side, which means my tokens are on this side. So, I have put down a 0, and I think I put down, I think that's a 1, that's a 2, and that's a 1, possibly. So, my intention always for Fool's Gold is to stack one side of the board and then get my tokens and then hopefully pick up one of the opponents. So I'm going to be deploying here. I'm using this forest and this wall, this kind of rock thing as cover, getting up on this hill and shooting around me. That's the plan. Let's see if it works. And as you can see, I've deployed thusly. So on Heath's side, so over here, he deployed very heavily on this side, which makes me think he's put something precious over there. Good. Please waste your resource on it. I do not care. So these are the Forsaken, Flying Cavalry, Critters, Beast of Nature, Unicorn, and say, and that's one of the maybe it's the Elite Cavalry. Who could tell? No one knows. I mean, it's just hard to tell, isn't it? Well, these ones look the same. So I think that's the normal cavalry with Pathfinder. Yeah, maybe. Just, why would you put 2 different types? Anyway, right, so that will be the Elite Cavalry, Critters, Beast of Nature in the middle. And then on the other side, so with a very fast army, you can deploy like this. Little speed 10. So you put them right on both sides. It doesn't matter. You can pincer like crazy. They're so fast. And then over this side, so this is the other Elite Cavalry. Might have Brew of Strength or something, I don't know. These are the 22-inch charging Forsaken. Here's your Exemplar Redeemer. Here is your Pegasus. Alrighty, so against those, these are my cavalry and my... didn't work last turn, so I thought, let's try it again. So against these guys, we've got Elite Cavalry, Forsaken, Redeemer and Unicorn. I put my cavalry and the Luggets. And critically, the War Engines, we're going to be bombing them. Alright, and there's your there's the other Luggets with the Elite in the middle, so they can go both ways. The Jar Jar Whiz is there with Inspiring, that's a Wing It. We have Rabble, and then we've got both of these slashers. And I've got my nice phalanx of War Engines behind, so I've got double trombone here and double bang it here. So keeping all of this firepower together so that when these guys sweep round and try and jump over behind me, I can then turn around and blow them to Kingdom Come. Turn 1! So I lose turn 1, which is poor because his army is so incredibly fast. It doesn't really matter. So he's brought forward his Pegasus, which is the least precious of the unit. He's looked at this and he thought, I don't need everything I've got here. A bit rude. So he sent off his Exemplar Redeemer this way to support the centre where the body of my things are. He's got a nice kind of thing. Everything is outside of 20, so the only thing I can charge is this Pegasus. And on this side, he's just kind of swung round. He's brought his Beast of Nature here. Ready to kind of jump down. He went 20 and turned. Everything else is just kind of waiting in the wings. In the wings! I am hitting it with the puns today. Oh, God. So, in return to that, I've just kind of formed a curve, which is fine. I've offered him Rabble for his Beast of Nature to charge if he really wants to, because his Beast of Nature will then get obliterated by things. He can't see down here with the Elite Cavalry, or not Elite Cavalry, normal Cavalry, Pathfinder Cavalry. Definitely can't see with those guys. Oh, those guys come probably, they're height 7, so I think I'm outside of 20 for them. Height 7 because they're on a hill, right? Height 4 and height 3. Unicorn is here, so then, and then these cavalry come in here. So what I've done here is I have simply engaged. So I figured, do you know what? I don't care. Push forward, because that's what we should do. I have sent these one bang sticks, and he left. I don't know if he did it deliberately. He might have done. He left them in range of the woodland critters. The woodland critters enraged, so I just charged across to so that I can probably kill them, and then turn out of charge arc of these cavalry, which might work. I put my captain in the middle, so that he can give them both elite and send the other one into the unicorn. I've got my horde here, and I think I'm in the range of 1 unit, but I'm in the right place that he can't jump over. So he's not going to kill them in one go, and I would have a good chance on the turn. Now I have made a mistake in the middle, which is in my angling of this unit. See, I've turned them slightly this way, but actually they should definitely be like this, right? That being because I need to come and support here equally. And I did not, so that's poor. So yeah, there's the charges there that I just told you about. So not very successful. This I think was war engines or something. Shooting at that, maybe lightning bolt. So 1 wound. I think it was lightning bolt. 1 wound there, which is good. However, only 4 wounds. So this is the Beast of Nature hiding behind the Pegasus, facing this way, because he's taller than the Pegasus, so he can see. And so 4 wounds. These bang sticks just failed to perform again. So terrible. 4 wounds onto a Pegasus. Couldn't even kill it. Oh, wait a minute. I am such a liar. Do you know what? I should really look at these beforehand. The 4 wounds was the war engines onto the Beast of Nature, which is very good. And then the bang sticks put 7 wounds onto the Pegasus, wavering it, taking only 1 wound themselves. Get it together. See, there is a series of extremely bad dice coming up, and I'm obviously prepping for that in my head. I shall stop trying to preempt myself. I do take pictures. So then on to turn 2. So I don't really kill anything, which is unfortunate. Wavering it is, poor 7. I don't know what they are. 11, 13, 10, 12. So 7 wounds. I probably should have killed it on average. Didn't. I did kill the wooden critters though, which is great. So I've turned as I promised. You can see the arc template there showing a slight mispositioning of his cavalry. So he would be remiss not to take the charges. So the Beast of Nature and the Redeemer come into my luggets here, which is, not brill, but is what it is. These cavalry can't really do anything, so they're just stuck there. So I need to rethink this strategy because it's clearly not working. And this side he just kind of pushes forward. He's got his critters here. He's got his nose in the woods here, so we can see. Not really giving me anything special to charge. This unicorn is kind of sneaking around. And there's 2 wounds from the unicorns. The unicorn lightning bolts into this war engine, which is mean. Don't be mean. Anyway. The Exemplar Redeemer then comes into my bang sticks. Does 7 wounds. Chill out. Oh, maybe some of those are from me. Some of those are probably from me, aren't they? How many did I do? Let's find out together. 4. So I took 4 wounds myself from the killing the critters. You always want to put bang sticks into critters, into rubbish chaff, if you are facing against them, because they will blow themselves up and then you can polish them off easily. So we put an extra 3 wounds here onto them and then double one it. So boo-hoo. Oh, yay for me. Why are they wavered? I'm very confused. Why would they be wavered if you double one it? Oh, I know why. Because he used his tournament reroll. There's a tournament reroll, and he used it on one of those ones and wavered them. So, poop. Nice while it lasted, eh? And he obliterated my horde, which is particularly poor because I've got a 22-inch charge range unit in the back of my flanks. So he took the cavalry in the middle, the elite cavalry, into these rabble. He did an extraordinary 14 wounds and wavered them. It's not unprecedented to do that many wounds, I guess. They're pretty hitty on 3s and 2s. I have got Headstrong Aura. So then, in return, I took the rabble horde that's here into these woodland critters with both of my slashers on top because I wanted to shoot things, particularly this Beast of Nature. So I'm going to shoot over the top, try and do some wounds there. And then I think possibly a silly mistake, I don't know. So I bought my war trombone here to shoot at this unicorn. I think it's because I simply could not get it out of the charge range of 20 inches of that unicorn, where you can just see everything. Or maybe I just wanted it to be useful. I don't know. We're hiding the king here. We take, however, so remember the luggets that were facing the wrong way? We take them into the flank of these knights. So I feel pretty confident of taking those knights out. And I've got these guys here, just slightly outside the 22-inch charge range there. I pivot and back up these bang sticks, so I'm an inch away, so I can do that. And the king comes and hides behind them, so he'll have to kill them next turn. And then over here, so we go back into the stupid Pegasus. And I bring my winglet over here to start chucking some bombs on these guys as a minimum. And I've obviously got my war engines to join in with that as well. So, not a great start, but let's see how we go. There you go. Is that one wound I've done? It is. Wow, lads. Good job. This is when my dice start to go south. I can say this now. It is right hack. Yeah? Yeah? Okay, good. So that's 20 attacks on 4s and 4s. Well, that'll be 5, and I get 1 wound on the Beast of Nature. That's not great, is it? I do get 2 wounds with the Unicorn on 5s, because he's an individual. So there you go. Swings and roundabouts. That is possible. I don't know what that is. Shit, let's think Jar Jar again. Another wound on him. He's okay. And then, extraordinarily, the Beast of Nature was here, and we war engined him off. So having said, my dice was so bad, boo-hoo-hoo. Not that bad, clearly. I think this guy joined in as well, so we had a field day there on the Beast of Nature. He already had 4 wounds, don't forget, though. So I think I just did quite a few here, and maybe 1 war engine got in as well, so we took the Beast of Nature off. So that's a good thing. There you go. However, the poor dice then returned. I don't know if it's poor dice or not. So we had a headstrong 25 attacks there on 5s and 5s, and 40 attacks there on 4s and 4s. I should have, rather than lightning bolting onto that Exemplar Redeemer, I should have bane chanted them, and I didn't. So 20 attacks, 40 attacks on 4s and 4s, maybe 10 wounds, and then 25 attacks on 5s and 5s. Should have been like 2 more. So maybe 12 wounds, and I did 7. And I didn't even waver them. So that was appallingly bad, because it leaves the rear of this unit for that Exemplar Redeemer to come into. So a real whiff there, unfortunately. But it happens. Dice happen. Dice happen. These are bang sticks who finally killed the Pegasus, and I'm now going to get knighted in the face, or possibly in the flank, or I'm just going to die. It's just death. Death all round. I tried to overrun. That's what I tried to do. I tried to overrun because I needed a 5 or a 4 to overrun out of their charge arc. Of course I didn't get it. Why would I? That would be mad. Turn 3. So rather than charge that unit, he just goes into the back of these luggets with his Order of the Forsaken. Why wouldn't you do that? And he comes in here. These guys come in here. Everything's going to die. The Redeemer comes in the front of these, very wounded. Bang, it's here. The Unicorn comes into my war engine, and the Beast of Nature, who can see all the way over, comes into the flank. And he does this really, he doesn't need it, because these guys are going to kill them on their own. He just wants to put him in a better position, so which is, a great tactic. Over here, so without anything to do, these guys kind of just turn and come in here, but he doesn't really need them right now, because he's doing fine without them. And a double charge onto the rabble here with all of this stuff. So these are the not elite knights, but got Pathfinder and some critters come back in. 1 wound there, by the way, from my rabble onto the critters. That's nice. So there you go. Is that the 1? It is double 1. Yes. So, no, I spent all the time after this game complaining about dice. It seems it was a very swingy game on both sides. I apologise to Heath if you're watching this. Anyway, I did have bad dice. So these are my cavalry, which he did the horses in. This is the ones that he had Pegasus in. He double won them. They're on 15 wounds. It's extraordinary. He obviously kills the other bang sticks with his Exemplar Redeemer, which is good. He kills these luggets with the Forsaken. And does he not kill these? I'm sure he does. I'll come to that in a minute. 10 wounds onto these rabble with these horses and these critters, so they're okay. And then he kills the rabble in the centre. So the centre of my army has disappeared. So these are holding on is great. Still got this winger over here. I've got one war engine. I've got all these bangets. And I've just got a lot to kill. And it's just, it feels like an unmanageable amount to kill. This water drone doesn't die, but it does take wounds, which means I can't shoot with it. Yeah, I can probably move out of the line of sights here. But I need to kill this, this, and this in a single turn. With 2 war engines, a wingit, 2 bangets, a whiz, and 1 war trombone. And a king. Oh, and there's also Beast of Nature. Do you know what? It's just... it's asking a lot, isn't it? So, we fly the wingit over here. I put it in terrain, so if he's charged, it'll be hindered. And then I block like this. So I block like this. I have no freaking idea why. Honestly, just what on earth? I think what I was trying to do, I was going to focus all this shooting on here and pray against hope that they die. Take these guys into the back, but it doesn't really matter. Because what he's going to be able to do is come into one, and then the other, and then the war engine, killing them all in a single turn if I don't kill this unit. So that's a bit of a gamble, lads. I turn both of the slashers round to shoot this way. I think because this guy is height 8, that's why. This war trombone, runs away, and the rabble come back in over here. So it is what it is. This is me moaning about dice. This is a slasher shooting. So yeah, these are my new Clash of Kings dice, by the way. Coming soon to a Clash of Kings near you. So yeah, that's the kind of dice that we were seeing quite a lot of from me. So as you can see, 5 wounds here, 6 wounds here, definitely not enough. 5 wounds here, nothing took enough wounds to kill it. I devastated myself in the attack here and didn't kill it. So what we have is a 2-point token all the way over here on the right hand side of the table. A 1-point token right underneath my wingit, which is rather nice. 1-point token in the middle. My 2-point token behind them. A 1-point token underneath his Exemplar Redeemer, next to that hill, which is my other 1-point token, who only took a wound. Oh, he didn't take any wounds, that's right, the king whiffed, so this guy flies now. And a 1 over there, so on to turn 4. So let's just kind of map those out, maybe we can find a table shot somewhere. Might help. Okay, so that is a 1, 1. There is a 1 over there. There is a 2. Or possibly 1, and a 1 there, and 1 there. Is that enough? There's all of them? There's that 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 1s. That's not right. One of them is a 2. No, I think that's the 2, isn't it? Over there. That's the 2 over there. 1, 2, 3, 4 1s, 2 2s. That's how it looks. All right. So he's going to get that 1, and then he's got. Do you know what? Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't know how this guy ended up. Maybe I moved him down and left these guys. Oh, okay, who knows? Anyway. Maybe he let me change my mind. Who knows? So, clearly not. Those are my wounds. Didn't do a lot. Didn't do enough. There's a 1. 4. Turn 4. So, Exemplar Redeemer comes into the wingit. Hindered. And that 1-point token. And then, this is where I was just like looking at myself thinking, what have I done? So he takes the cavalry into the war engine and these flying Forsaken into this guy. He can then overrun into the flank of this, but he can't fit. So I think he messed up the charges a little bit because he could have done that a lot better. It is what it is. Boo-hoo. Anyway, I'm still... the reason I'm a bit disinterested, I'm feeling very bad about how much I whinged about dice when really it came both ways. I didn't play very well. So I backed up, so he's come into the flank of these rabble and the front here. Because I'd obviously, when I countercharged here, I think I shot one of the critters off. The critters over here died. Exemplar, that's the Beast of Nature, which has flown over to the end of this wall, ready to start munching stuff here. Because they've been a little bit too good. The rabble here die, obviously. So now I've got 2 slashes against unhurt knights and unhurt Forsaken. The unicorn kills off the other war trombone. obviously the War Trombone dies to this knight unit. And obviously, so he then, right, so having done that, he reforms like yay. Okay, so it wasn't a bad, it was actually pretty good. The Forsaken go through 1, bang it. Goes through 2, bang it. But because of the way he reforms, because when you hit, you reform to them, right? So I turn to you and then you reform to me. Because of the positioning of his unit here, the corner, it meant that he couldn't overrun into the Wiz as well. So the Wiz survived the utter murder of the 2 bang-its. So then in my turn, 4, 5, 4, is it 4? Probably 4, 5, I want to say. Let's have a look. 4. Wow, I only turned 4 and there's nothing of my army left. Playing spectacularly well. Goblins is hard, man. I take a slasher into these knights. I take a king into the Forsaken. And just to hold them off. And a slasher into these knights. Because these guys are on 4 wounds. I think I could probably do something. I then come over here. And I'm going to try and whiz and use my catapults for the 1 turn they've got left over here. Oh, obviously the banger's died over here. I think it might be turn 5 actually rather than turn 4 because he has another turn, hasn't he? He's done 2 wounds to my wingit, but it's okay. This is my... turn 4. So all the war engines score some decent hits, and we managed to put them back up to 12. So previously they were on 6 from the previous shots that I'd done from all of my shooting, which is pretty good but not great enough. So another 6 wounds, and I waver them, which is super. And then 7 wounds of the Beast of Nature, but he's okay. The king does no wounds to those flying knights, so my king's whiffed. And we do kill the knights in the centre, though, with a slasher in the front and a king in the back. So that's good, at least. And this guy is now facing this way. So, the wingit, what does he do? Nothing. Now we're into turn 5. Okay. So into turn 5, let's have a look at where we are. So I think that's right, the wingit didn't do any wounds either onto these Emplar Demon, and he's taller than me, which is bad. It's like my water effect. Good. So looking at the tokens, there's a 2-point token here. These guys are just sitting on it. There's a 1-point token here. I'm nowhere near it. There's a 1-point token there. No one's anywhere near it. There's one over there that he's on. And I've got a slasher here doing nothing. This is entirely irrelevant. The wingit's on a token. What's that? Turn 5, so he ignores my wingit and decides that these war engines have done enough damage and takes both of his units to both of them, which is fair enough because they have done rather well the last 2 turns, despite me whinging about dice constantly. Stop talking about it. He only did 3 wounds there, so he just countercharges both of those. There is 3 wounds from those knights onto my slasher, and it's okay. But, and that's a kicker. That was a bit of a kicker. So you can see here the Forsaken. So kill my king straight off. And then he rolls, I think he needs a 4. And he rolls it anyway. He rolls a 4, he rolls a 6 or something outrageous. And they go into the flank of the slasher. Of course, thoroughly murdering it. Both war engines die. Boo-dee-hoo-dee-hoo. So, on my turn 5, I don't want my last unit strength to be murdered. I have got this slasher up here as well. I don't want this unit strength to be murdered, so I come down here out of their line of sight because I do have the option to fly onto useful things next turn, depending on what he does. I take the slasher, who was facing this way, I'm so sorry, not that way, as I said earlier, into this wavered unit, which will hopefully kill it and give me the chance to get a token. The king comes off the hill into the Forsaken here. And I do 9, so he was on 9 wounds, and he's still on 9 wounds, so I guess that wasn't a successful round of shooting. I guess I missed. I do kill that unit there, though. And I turn around thusly, facing this way towards this 2-point token, because I want it. And I've done a wound. Yay, King did a wound. Hurrah, well done me. So I did a wound onto those Forsaken, so they can't fly. And into turn 6, twice. And here's, finally a board shot. Thank God for that. So we have a 2-point token over here that he has flown onto with his Exemplar Redeemer. He's got a 1-point token here with these cavalry sitting pretty. And then he's flown... Oh, sorry, that's the Beast of Nature. He's flown over onto that 2-point token. The very heavily wounded Beast of Nature. And then he's taken his Exemplar Redeemer onto this 1-point token. The Unicorn's coming to Jar Jar, the wizard. He's countercharged here, and he's brought this unit here onto this token. Or I'm not sure if it's in 3. Let's see if it's in 3 or not. We'll find out. So, what happens here? So that's just showing that charge. And showing those. Good. And showing that as well. Oh. Right. Well, someone didn't take a photograph at the end of this game. Let's just see if I did. I did not. So clearly someone spent too much time moaning about dice and not enough time taking photographs of ends of games, turn 6s. So what did I do? Do you know what I think happened? I think I ran out of time. At this point. I know I lost. Right, sorry to spoil it for you. But look, I struggle on low time. So, what could I have done? So I think I ran out of time because what I could have done is flown the winger over here, right, to challenge this token. So he doesn't get that. No one gets that one. He gets one here and he gets one here, and then I could have run the slasher in here to try and kill this unit. Right, and if I kill that unit, I get 2, he gets 2, and it's a draw. But I think I ran out of time, and I was unable to do that. Which is a shame, really, because that would have been super cool to finish on a draw, and I don't think I did. So, clock against me, too many dice to throw, too much time fiddling around with stupid movement, which is something you'd get into a trap with these really fast-flying armies, because there's just angles everywhere. I spent an inordinate amount of time too just kind of positioning things, so I think I timed out. If you're watching this, please remind me. Because looking at that, I do have a chance, but I obviously fluffed it a bit in some respect. Not sure how, but there you go. So that was the end of the game. And that one, Heath won, I think 22-8, I think, because I didn't kill as much of his stuff there. He's still got a lot of expensive units left, and I've got just no unit strength. So, once again, let down by my unit strength strategy. Clearly not working. I need to change it up a little bit. So, a little bit chagrined, a little bit sad, complaining vehemently about dice, which is not my way, despite having done it constantly throughout the whole game. We trudge into game 3. Okay, so I am not covering myself in glory. I identified there's a couple of things. One is the list itself. Which tries to spread itself a little bit too much between kind of that shooting element and all the infantry. But really, it's Kings of War, pretty much any list you can do well with. And I think why I'm letting myself down is I'm splitting the force too much. So I'm putting my luggets to work in the wrong place. So when the rabble die in the centre, there's nothing left there to come through and be kind of a meat shield for all the shooty bits. Which, after all, are the power in the list. So, I've kind of got that in my head. I'm kind of having a strong, stern talk to myself, and not an immeasurable amount of beers. And I come into game 3 versus Alan and his Ogres. So Alan's a newer player, who hasn't been doing terribly well, but he's enjoying himself, so that's good. I'm also enjoying myself, having not done terribly well, so we're well matched. And he has brought Ogres again. So in this list, we have a legion of red goblin rabble, which you rarely see. A legion of rabble, a regiment and a horde of hunters, both of whom have croco dogs. A horde of boomers with the piercing arrow, which you also don't see very much. And 2 hordes of siege breakers, one with the chalice of wrath, and one with the brew of strength, giving them crush 3, which I think is overkill. It's just me. A horde of berserker braves with sharpness, meaning they now hit on 3s, making them disgusting. A regiment of chariots with brew of haste. A single berserker bully, a single warlock with lightning bolt and drain life. And the conjurer staff and a warlord on chariots, so the proper killy guy. So it's an okay list, I think. The red goblin rabble are a bit confusing, but yeah, it's alright. It's got siege breakers in it. What more could you want? It's got a bit of everything. So this is our battlefield. And as usual, it's got quite a killy area in the middle here. If you happen to have ranged attacks, which I do. Hill here and a hill here. Hills, incidentally, within deployment zones. So no matter where I'm going, I'm going to get war engines on them, which is going to be fun for me. Here's a forest, height 6. These are flat, difficult terrain. Height 6 blocking terrain, and there is a wall. Singular wall. I think it's just the one wall on this board. Quite sparse for a Northern King's table. So, we are playing Pillage. So, traditional Pillage tokens. There are 7 tokens, which are these natty painted things, which I painted. And there is another token. So, there's a token behind this rock, and there's a token behind this rock. And then you've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tokens. Okay, so that's where they are. I think Alan chose sides, and I think he chose this side. And off we go. This is how we deployed. So, with Pillage, I generally choose which 4 I'm going for, and then I go for them. So here we can see, well, I have got one under my units. I think it's here. And then I'm going to go for these 3. So I'm going to get my fast stuff down here, and I've changed my tactic, as you can see. So I've got my all my infantry hordes together with my luggets. So all my luggets are going to be supporting each other. I've got some war engines on a hill. And everything else is kind of, so I've got the fast stuff sweet around the side against his fast flank. So these are my rabble. With all the stuff behind them. There's the Luggate Regiment. On his side of the battlefield, so here's his rabble legion. These are the, I want to say, Berserker Braves? Or Hunterly, I think it's a Hunters. That's the Bully. That's also Hunters. Let's look over here, just check. Yeah. No, those are Berserkers, these are Hunters. Horde of. Did he forget? Oh my goodness. There's a whole unit missing. Right? Or is it here? No, it's not there. Oh, bro. He's got a regiment and a horde of hunters here. There's the horde. Maybe they turn up later. I can't see them. There's his warlord. I'm confused. I'm very confused. He's got one regiment of chariots. This is boomer chariots. Is there boomer chariots in the list? Well, that is weird. So maybe the list that he submitted is not the list that he was playing, maybe? Because he said he's got this troop of boomer chariots with stealthy aura instead of a regiment of hunters. Okay, it doesn't matter. These are siege breakers. These are siege breakers. The ones in front have got the extra crush, and these are boomers, horde of boomers. All right, so. And we've gone through those. So these are my, I've put the luggets with the rabble this time to see if that helps. And let's crack on to turn 1. So I win turn 1 and I take it. And I push forward pretty aggressively. Because there's not a lot he can do. And I think his boomer's a little bit too far back to do anything. And he's only got 1 warlock, so we just crack on. So there we are. And do I shoot? Yes, I do. And I put 6 wounds on his Berserker Bully from my war engines, who decide to roll splendiferously. So, and then he just pushes forward. There's not a lot of shooting, but he shoots his Warlock here at my Wingit and misses entirely, which is what that screenshot is about there. So into turn 2. So in this respect, he has made I don't think it's a mistake or he just didn't care, but his boomers he pushed forward, and he's left them within charge range of one of my units of bang sticks. So I decide that I'm going to not miss that opportunity. So you can see the range ruler here showing the line of sight for the warlord. So the other unit has come behind. I've gone into this unit of boomers, which I'm particularly concerned about after the game 1. So I'm going to try and kill them in 1 with these bang sticks and then turn, protecting this unit who can then come and do some nasty things over here. Everything else just kind of, I think, either stays where I am or moves slightly forward, so I'm just outside charge ranges. And then we continue bombing the living snot out of this poor berserker bully. I think with lightning bolts as well from the whiz. We do very well. Another wound there. So he's doing not great, but he's still okay. Doesn't get killed. Yep, and so we managed to kill. So the boomers managed to die, which is fab. And then he's turning his chariots. The chariots obviously don't have a choice, so they're going to come into these bang sticks and obliterate them. He's just pushing forward here with everything else. So that's why he sent his berserkers. Are they berserkers or they're hunters? Out of the woods into one of the rabble, which may or may not be a good idea. Let's see. So he does kill my bang sticks there, and then he's got his siege breakers ready to go into here. And he's taken his, these were the hunters into these rabble, 6 wounds, and I'm going to be ensnared. But because I have got my luggets, I can flank with luggets, which avoids the ensnare, which is rather nice. So I do that. I decide that I don't want the siege breakers to take on my bang sticks, so I just send some rabble into them to hold them up. And then I've moved these guys forward into the pocket, so they're there to start shooting at stuff. And I've sent the other bang sticks into the chariots up here. And I've moved up here to try and just finish off this bully, who is also quite scary. Yep, so there's my moves there. And there. And then these guys, so I forgot, got these luggets behind. They're just kind of like, oh, well, I guess we're not needed right now. So they're going off here to try and get a token. So they're token life for me. They're doing that. They're popping over to try and sit on one of these, this one or this one. And then some shooting onto the red goblin rabble. So 6 wounds. Up to 12 now on the berserker bully. Does he die? Not sure. There's some shooting onto this warlock as well on the hill from the other slasher. So we do manage to kill the hunters with that flank, which was a lot of points, a lot of wounds. 4 damage on sea breakers from these absolutely legendary rabble. Incredible work there, lads. And then he decides, okay, I think the bully did die because I can't see him anywhere. He's on 12 wounds and he's in dash 15 or something, dash 14. So the berserkers are coming over here, and he's got his red goblin rabble into these luggets. So I only did 4 wounds there with that charge. Isn't great, is it? So he counter charges, and the warlord comes in the flank. So the bang sticks are going to go, bang. That's what they do. However, oh no, because I had right. So the king was here as well. So the king and the bang sticks together, only 4 wounds, which sucks. Was it 4 or does he drain life afterwards? Yeah, I don't know. So, whatever. So his warlord went into my king, hoping to kill and then overrun into the flank. However, he only did 3 wounds. King's remarkably durable with that 12-14 nerve. We did manage to kill them, and even worse, he only managed to waver the bang sticks with 5 damage. So we are stuck there together. And the siege breakers put 14 wounds onto this rabble, but didn't kill them. 5 wounds here. There's going to be a slap fest here. Actually, we're not, because I'm on 40 crush 1. Into turn 4 now. So I backed up the wavered bang sticks because I failed my headstrong roll. And countercharge here and send a slasher into the wounded chariots. Countercharge here. And then a multi-charge here onto the red goblin rabble with my rabble and the luggets. And then I'm shooting all this stuff. I think I'm going to try and shoot this warlock off because he's being annoying. Even though he's stealthy with this aura. So showing. Oh, I'm just dropping bombs on these berserkers from these guys here. Shooting, shoot. And we absolutely smashed it. That is crazy. That is crazy rolling because I've got war engines as well, haven't I? So 2 war engines, a wingit, and a war trombone. 13 wounds and took them off, which is just like so mean. I felt very mean. 12 wounds onto this guy. Do we kill him? I think we do. 8 wounds. I only managed to waver the chariots, but a waver's good still. 4 wounds onto this guy. He's going to kill my king next turn. And we kill the red goblin rabble, revealing the token beneath. So the left side is looking very, very healthy. We have another Siege Breaker horde here ready to go, but I do have the advantage pretty much there now on the left-hand side. He just wasn't quite aggressive enough. He didn't push forward hard enough. And that bully taking a lot of wounds in turn 1 was very, very unfortunate. So we have counter charges here. The boomer chariots come across at the top there. Not on the list, but there you go. And the wavered chariots can't do anything at the top. So he double charges into the rabble with both of the siege breakers just to really try and get him off the table and put himself into a better position. And he does manage to kill the king and go into the flank of my slasher, which is unfortunate. But only 7 wounds, which doesn't kill him, so I'm doing alright. However, of course, those rabble die. He's going to sacrifice his 1 siege breaker for the other siege breaker. Yeah, you can see the warlock has carked it. So we're looking like this. I think this is turn now. We'll turn 5, right? I think I might have not taken a photo of the dice. So turn 5. Whoa! Chill out, Stanley. So turn 5, I take the Luggets into the flank of these guys. He didn't quite turn far enough around, and bring everything else around. I take my wounded band sticks into the siege breakers, and we take. Oh, I've managed to bring these Luggets around now finally, and take them to the flank of the warlord. And I just charge the chariots again with my slasher. And I think everything else is shooting at these chariots, the boomer chariots. Who I kill, which again feels mean. Having had 2 games where my dice were very swingy. It did feel rather. You can see poor Alan is standing with his elbow on the table. He was very generous with his gentleness, I suppose, about how mean my dice were being, because I took his boomer chariots off with 9 wounds with all the shooting. I took the siege breakers off with the flank. And this is his counter charge. So then I did 6 wounds, it looks, from the bang sticks onto these siege breakers. And the counter charge utterly blew the smeg out of my bang sticks. But as you can see on this side, the warlord and the chariots are dead, as well as boomer chariots. So really, these siege breakers is the only unit he has left. And I decided to charge them rather than shoot them, because why not? I've got loads of stuff. So everything else is just moving off. So we're moving off to get a token here, moving off to get a token here. We've got the wing on the token here. This slash has gone on this token here, and the rubber has gone on this token here. Right? And we did, in fact, smash them. We killed the siege breakers, resulting in the first tabling I've ever done. Which I felt mean. It did feel mean. I think his list probably needed some adjustment, and also I'd managed to get myself into a better formation. So that's 2 things, and my dice were on fire. So having had 2 shockingly poor plays, my 3rd game was extremely effective, and I got a 25, destroying, unfortunately, the opponent and getting all the objectives. So I would say to Alan, thank you so much for the game. He was a really, really nice guy. He just kind of went, look, I don't get to play very often. And I'm like, man, if I come down to Oxford, I will definitely look you up and we can have a game. But what a nice guy. So that was in day 3, game 3, day 1. It did feel like a disappointing day for me, despite getting a 25 at the end. I just felt like I hadn't really got to grips with the list. The list had a few flaws in it, and I really wasn't playing terribly well, and my dice weren't loving me as well. So yeah, anyway, what I can promise you is that when you come to day 2 of this tournament, you're going to get some quite spicy and exciting games. They were much more dramatic and thrilling, and I think I can fairly safely say I certainly played better. So I hope you look forward to that one. Keep an eye out for it. So I record it very soon. And until next time, well, I can't remember what I say. What do I say at the end of videos? Bye! Something like that. We'll see you next time on Death by Dragons. That's what I say. I remember a little bit too late. Alright, bye.